Hi, I'm Joe from the Boone County Extension Service, and today we're going to talk about tropical gardening. I did a class earlier this season on tropical gardening. It's kind of a hobby of mine. It has been for years, and there's just a lot of different plants that you can grow to kind of give your garden that tropical look. We got a few here at the office that we've grown this year, so I kind of wanted to show these. Back in here we have a lot of the pretty common ones you might see in this area. We have the elephant ears, these taller ones. These are pretty common in this area. You find these at a lot of garden centers. These are the calocasia types. We also have the alocasia type of upright elephant ear, and I can step back here and let you look at these. And they have more of an upright and a glossier leaf, kind of a heavier leaf. Also, they even get a flower stalk, as you can see here, that comes up in the center of them as they mature. Another tropical plant we have here is the banana tree. I've grown these since I was a teenager. These particular trees here were given to us as small sprouts by one of our master gardeners, and we set them out early this spring, and they've really responded well. We had so much rain earlier in the year. I think that's one reason these have really thrived this year. You can see in the farther back part of the bed we have some cannas, which are another one. I can kind of step back here a little bit and show you those. These are the cannas, and these come in bulbs. You can buy these at a lot of nurseries. You can also buy the small potted plants. And we set these all out as bulbs early in the season, all along the back here, and they've did really well. A lot of times they'll get, depending on the variety, 4 or 5 foot tall at least. The the elephant ears also can get pretty large, as you can see. Most of these plants are really easy care plants. You put them in, you may fertilize them once with a little bit of liquid fertilizer, and they're pretty good to go. They thrive well in our climate. It's just they aren't winter hardy, so you have to take into consideration a lot of these have to be dug and stored in a frost-free location during the winter. The banana trees can be a little bit cumbersome. We usually cut those back within a couple feet, dig those up, pot them in large pots, and keep them in our basement. As long as you keep the temperature above freezing, you're fine. You don't really have to water a whole lot during the winter. They're better to keep them on the dry side. Same with the elephant ears, kind of separate those out each year, and the cannas, lay them out to dry, and then put them in, we use wooden storage crates that we put ours in. We usually don't put anything on them. We may put some paper around them just to kind of protect them a little bit, but we don't put any sawdust or peat moss. A lot of people do that, which is fine, but we found that as long as they're kind of in a dormant state, they'll last pretty good, and as long as you keep that frost away from them, they're pretty good to go for next season. Here's some more of our beds that we have down in front of the Ellis House at the Boone County Extension Service. There's a lot of annuals that we grow here. We have the salvia, we have the zinnia, and all these plants can be used and kind of give that tropical look also. If we walk over here, we can see we have a couple beds of large cannas. You can see they're just now finishing up blooming, but they get a red bloom on them. They bloom pretty much throughout the summer. These have really grown very well this year due to the rain that we received earlier. In the front, we've got blue salvia in the front. It kind of adds that contrast to it. So you can add these type of tropical plants along with your regular annual displays. And it kind of just gives it that little bit of flair, and gives you something different and catches a lot of people's eye. They're not expecting to see some bold foliage and bright green and different types of blooms mixed in with your normal annuals. So it's a good way to kind of add variety to your planting and just add a little bit of flair and make it a little bit more exotic. Over here we have some lantana, which is another plant. It's a really good butterfly or pollinator plant, and it's more of a tropical type plant also. It thrives in heat and humidity, so this does well if you wanted to use this in a tropical planting, as well as a lot of the ornamental potato vines. Sweet potato vines do very well, and I kind of use those as a ground cover a lot of times below my tropical plantings. We're out here at the Boone County Arboretum out at Central Park just to kind of show you some of the tropical plants that they've incorporated into their landscape this year. As you can see here in the background, they have a lot of the alocasia type upright elephant ears grown in a mass group here, so that's really good effect. You see the coleus, which also is another annual you can use for a bedding plant that has that tropical flair. And then we have some ornamental grasses, also some of the red-leafed calocasia type elephant ears mixed in here. So you can see there's endless possibilities with a lot of different annuals, and these tropical annuals, just adding them to your landscape to give you that little bit of a tropical look. And it's pretty easy to do, and they're easy care plants, and honestly they're really not bothered by a whole lot of insects and disease for the most part, and they're pretty easy to grow and actually faster growing than a lot of people realize. Just wanted to show some more of these plantings. This planting here, we have an elephant ear planting centered with a banana tree in the center. It's a red leaf banana actually, and all the annuals in front makes a nice display. And like I said, most of these plants are very easy to grow. Add a little bit of fertilizer when you plant them. Maybe give them a couple shots of a liquid fertilizer during the growing season, like you would any normal annual, and you'll probably get pretty good performance out of them. Over here, close to the Arboretum kiosk, you can see you can actually do these in planters. So this is a real effective planter. It's got a canna growing in it, a dwarf variety, so you can get these at a smaller size, and they work real well in containers. And then you can put a lot of different plants in here, some of the begonias, purple heart, which is another good one, more of a tropical type plant. So you can put all these together in a planter if you don't have room to actually do it in the ground, if you live in an apartment or something like that. And it's just a really kind of a bold statement in the landscape, and something a little bit more unique. And a lot of people, I got interested in it when I was younger by growing banana trees, and they multiply like crazy. So once you have a banana tree, you can give them to all your friends as you divide them up every year. So it's kind of a good hobby and a little bit different gardening technique for our area, and it always catches other people's eyes. So it's a fun thing to do. Hope you enjoyed this today. Thank you.